Let's cut to the truth no one likes to say out loud. Men instantly notice certain things about a woman. Not after they've had a conversation with you. Not after they've gotten to know your soul immediately. And you know what? That's not shallow. That's human nature. We live in a world that tells women to just be yourself, but rarely explains that how you carry yourself, the way you move, the way you make eye contact, even the smallest gestures speaks volumes before you even say a word. And for men who are hardwired to be visual, these cues aren't just attractive, they're magnetic. Now here's the part most women miss. It's not just about beauty, it's about energy. It's the silent power behind your presence. It's the body language that says, I know who I am, without you needing to perform or prove anything. Some of the most irresistible women in the world don't fit society's ideal mold. But when they walk into a room, men take notice, not because they're trying too hard, but because they know which parts of their body speak for them. So yes, there are 5 body parts men instantly notice in women, but it's not what you think. These aren't just about physical features. They're about expression, about connection, about the unspoken signals you send that say, this is me, and I'm not afraid to be seen. And once you understand which parts they're instinctively drawn to and why, you'll start to realize something beautiful you've been captivating all along. Let's pull back the curtain and dive into the 5 body parts men notice first, and how you can own every one of them with confidence, charm, and feminine power. When a man first looks at you, his eyes don't automatically travel to your curves or your clothes. Not always. The truth is, the very first thing many men instinctively notice and feel are your eyes. That quick glance, that moment of locked gaze, can reveal more than words ever could. It's not just about having a certain eye color or shape. It's about what your eyes transmit: emotion, presence, invitation, challenge, mystery, warmth. All of it pours out of your eyes, whether you're trying to or not. Think about the last time you made eye contact with someone you were attracted to. It was electric, wasn't it? Even if it only lasted a second, you felt it. That's how powerful your eyes are. They're your emotional spotlight. When a man looks into them, he's subconsciously asking himself, what's going on inside her? Is she open, confident, playful, closed off, angry, intrigued? Your eyes are a window to your inner world, and men read them faster than you realize. This is why you can walk into a room full of people and command attention without saying a word. If your eyes say, I know I'm worth noticing, when you hold someone's gaze with just the right balance of certainty and softness, it creates tension in the most delicious way. It's not about staring him down. It's about inviting him to look closer without begging for attention. A slight squint, a half smile, a lowered gaze followed by a quick return. It can send a man into a spiral of curiosity. Who is she? And why does it feel like she sees right through me? Men crave that feeling. They love a woman who doesn't avoid their gaze, not because it's aggressive, but because it shows boldness. It shows, I'm not afraid to look at you. I'm not afraid to be seen. In a world where everyone is scrolling, distracted, hiding behind filters and distance, a woman who can be present in her eyes becomes magnetic. Your eyes also communicate boundaries. A sharp glance can shut a man down when he crosses a line. A lingering one can make him feel like the luckiest guy in the room. And that's the thing, your eyes are an emotional thermostat. They regulate the intimacy. They tell him when to come closer and when to back off. You don't need to explain it. You show it, and he knows. There's also something incredibly sexy about a woman whose eyes light up when she's talking, when she's laughing, when she's passionate about something. That brightness is contagious. It makes a man want to be around you just to feel the heat of your energy. And even in silence, that spark matters. Because when a man looks into your eyes and sees someone who's alive in her emotions, someone who isn't dulled down or emotionally hidden, it gives him permission to show up more fully too. So if you've ever doubted whether you're attractive enough, sexy enough, noticed enough, remember this: you can say 1,000 things with just your eyes. And the women men, remember, most aren't always the ones with the flashiest outfits or the perfect features. They're the ones who made them feel something just by the way they looked at them. You realize that your eyes are your most honest, powerful weapon of attraction. Use them not to seduce, but to connect, because real connection always outshines surface level seduction there. And when you learn how to look at a man with intention, with warmth, they're with just the slightest bit of mystery, that's when he stops looking at you and starts chasing the feeling of being seen by you. Your smile is your emotional signature, lies that there. It's the first sign that tells a man whether he can relax with you or whether he should keep his distance. And here's what most people completely overlook. Your smile isn't just about looking pretty. It's about making someone feel something. Because when a man sees a woman smile genuinely, not in a forced or polite way, but in that warm, spontaneous, lit from within kind of way, it disarms him. It makes his defenses fall, even if just for a second. It's not about perfection. It's about realness. A genuine smile is a universal sign of connection. When you smile with softness in your eyes and a little sparkle of joy behind it, it tells him, I'm open. I'm present there. I'm someone who brings light into a room. And here's the secret: men don't just notice smiles. They remember them, especially the kind that feels rare. Think about how rare it is to meet someone who's truly joyful these days. Someone who smiles because she loves life, not because she's trying to impress. There, men are drawn to that energy like a magnet. It tells them you're someone who won't drain their spirit, that you're someone who adds something to the room just by being in it. And believe me, no man forgets that feeling. You could be wearing the most basic outfit with no makeup and messy hair, but if your smile radiates a sense of aliveness, he's already intrigued. There's something deeply sensual too about a woman who smiles at a man with just the right amount of playfulness, not a cheesy grin or a fake laugh, but that half smile that suggests you know something he doesn't. The kind of smile that says, I'm in control of my joy, and if you're lucky, they realize that I might just share it with you. That kind of tease, that kind of self-possession, it's unforgettable. And here's where it gets even more powerful. Your smile can completely change how a man perceives your entire body. A smile changes your face, it changes your posture. It changes the vibe you send out. There, you could have 1,000 insecurities about how you look, but when you smile from a place of self-acceptance, your whole energy becomes irresistible. Why? Because joy is sexy. Period. There, your smile is also contagious. When you light up, he lights up. And even if he's not consciously aware of it, he's already associating you with feeling good. And that's what attraction really is. It's not about being the most beautiful woman in the room. It's about being the one he feels best around. The one who makes him feel warm, seen, and excited to be alive. But don't fake it. The power of a smile comes from its authenticity. Smile when something delights you. Smile when you're caught in a moment of connection. Smile when you're flirting, not because you should, but because you feel that delicious buzz of attraction. When your smile is real, men don't just see it. They feel it in their chest. And when a man feels that kind of smile from you, the kind that reaches your eyes, that softens the moment, that lights up the space between you, it doesn't just pull him in. It makes him stay, realize that because that kind of joy is rare. That kind of smile doesn't fade with time. It stays in his memory like a song he can't stop playing in his head. That's the power of your smile. They are just beauty. Not just sweetness, but impact, emotional gravity. When you understand, you'll never underestimate your smile again. Not for what it looks like, but for what it awakens. That their hair might seem like just another part of your appearance, but to a man, it's far more than that. It's movement, it's style, it's sensuality in motion. A man might not consciously realize why he's drawn to it, but your hair sends him signals about your confidence, your personality, even your energy. And it's one of the first things he notices when you walk into a room. Not because it's perfectly done, but because it's uniquely you. Hair is like the punctuation mark of your femininity. Whether it's long and flowing, short and sharp, wild and curly, or soft and straight, your hair's a story before you speak. It expresses something deeply personal. Some women wear it sleek and polished. Others toss it up in a messy bun with strands falling around their face. And you know what? Both can be equally magnetic, because it's not about the style it's about the intention behind it. Do you own it? Do you feel good in it? Do you play with it? That's what he notices. Men are drawn to movement, and few things are more hypnotic than when a woman runs her fingers through her hair, flips it over her shoulder, or casually tucks it behind her ear mid-conversation. These little gestures aren't just habits, they're subtle, sensual signals. They show ease, comfort, a relaxed confidence that says, I'm in tune with myself. That kind of self-awareness, even in something as simple as adjusting your hair, is incredibly sexy to a man because it's natural, it's unforced. There's something about hair that also symbolizes freedom. When your hair isn't overly stiff or constrained, when it has life and softness, it shows that you have life and softness. It tells a man that you're not hiding behind a hard shell, that you're touchable, approachable. It invites curiosity. It says, come closer, I'm real. And trust me, that invitation, silent and unspoken, is something a man feels on a gut level. Hair also holds a lot of power when it comes to intimacy. It frames your face. It catches the light when you turn your head. It reacts to your movement. In close moments, whether you're on a date, leaning in to laugh, or brushing past him, he notices the scent, the texture, the way it moves. It becomes part of his sensory memory of you. And you don't need expensive treatments or elaborate styles to make that impact. You just need to own the way you wear it. What men remember most about a woman's hair isn't perfection. It's playfulness, it's sensuality, it's the way she tosses it when she's excited or lets it fall into her eyes when she's vulnerable. It's the way she doesn't apologize for it. And that energy, that lack of self-consciousness is rare. It makes her unforgettable. Here's the truth: your hair is not just about looks. It's an extension of your essence. It's a feminine asset that men instinctively notice because it's both visual and emotional. It moves when you move. It reacts to your mood. It shows how relaxed or rigid you are in your body. And when you allow it to move freely, when you embrace its natural rhythm, you create a visual language of sensuality that men can't help but respond to. So don't overthink your hair. Don't try to mold it into some impossible standard. Instead, ask yourself, how do I feel wearing it this way? Do I feel powerful, feminine, bold, soft? Because when you feel beautiful in your hair, the energy radiates out, and it's that energy that makes men instantly take notice, not the hair itself, but the woman beneath it, fully expressed. Posture is one of the most underrated, yet deeply powerful signals a woman sends to the world. It's silent, it's subtle, but when a man sees it, he feels it instantly. Your posture tells him everything he needs to know about your confidence, your emotional state, and even your standards. You can be wearing a stunning dress, have perfect makeup, and carry all the right accessories. But if your posture is slouched, guarded, or hesitant, the message it sends is clear: I don't want to be seen. And that right there shuts down intrigue before it ever begins. Now flip that. Picture a woman walking into a room with her shoulders back, head held high, chin slightly lifted, not in arrogance, but in presence. Her spine is straight, her movements are calm and intentional, and she isn't trying to shrink herself. That kind of woman doesn't have to say a word. A man notices instantly. And it's not just about her body, it's about the vibe she carries. Her posture says, I know who I am, and I'm not afraid to take up space. You see, men are deeply attracted to women who carry themselves with what I call embodied confidence. That's not the loud, look at me kind of confidence. It's the grounded, unshakable, I'm comfortable in my own skin kind. And that shows up in how you stand, how you sit, how you walk, how you hold yourself when no one is watching. Good posture isn't about being rigid or stiff. It's about alignment with your body and with your worth. And here's what's fascinating. Posture actually changes how you feel about yourself. When you stand tall, breathe deeply, and open your chest, your body sends signals to your brain that say, I've got this. You literally shift your emotional state from self-doubt to self-belief. And when that shift happens, men don't just see it, they feel it. Confidence isn't something you declare, it's something you embody, and posture is the gateway. Men are always looking for cues, subtle signs that tell them how a woman feels about herself. A woman who carries herself like she's apologizing for existing. That tells him she might not believe she deserves to be pursued, but a woman who moves through the world with presence and poise. That says she's already chosen herself, and now she's deciding who else is worthy of her space. That's attractive on a level that goes far beyond looks. Even in the smallest moments, like when you're sitting across from him on a date, leaning in with interest instead of folding in on yourself, or when you cross the street like you belong there, your posture shapes how he perceives you. And let me tell you, a man notices when a woman owns her walk. When her hips move with rhythm, her head doesn't dart nervously, and her presence isn't frantic. That stillness, that composure, that's sexy in a way that words can't replicate. Posture is also tied to boundaries. When your shoulders are squared, your movements are calm, and your stance is open but firm. It says, I'm approachable, but I'm not available to just anyone. And that kind of energetic boundary creates both respect and desire. It tells him you're not desperate for validation. You're rooted. And the only kind of man who gets close to you is the one who shows up with the same level of grounded presence. So the next time you catch yourself